somebody in the tree. Turn the lights on. Turn the lights on. Turn the lights on. Make some noise for my boy right there, hanging in the tree right there. Make some noise.
Stop the show! 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 Stop the show!
Hold on. Turn the lights on. I think I see somebody in the tree. Turn the lights on.
Like in fucking hell, bro. Like it felt like we was in a concert in hell. You couldn't breathe, you couldn't see. Like just imagine all the people they gonna find tonight who was in that crowd, who nobody could see, who nobody could hear, who passed out, and everybody was just trampling on top of them the whole fucking concert. Like I'm thinking it's probably gonna be like at least 100 people who dead tonight. Like I kid you not. Like in the VIP section, it was so many bodies laid out. People was getting pulled out who was fainted. And the people the medics were trying to give them CPR, and they was flipping them over, and like they was literally turning black and blue. Like I never seen death in my fucking life, bro. Just by me alone, it was probably like 10 fucking people laid out dead. And like once the medics tried to help them, they wasn't responding. They moved to the next person. It was nothing they couldn't do. Like this shit really fucked me up and like really spooked me tonight. Like that was like some demonic shit. Like and what was so crazy, like people were screaming help, trying to tell Travis Scott. They was like help. The whole crowd was going like help. He just kept going, bro. It was so scary, bro. It was so demonic, bro. And mind you, y'all see the type of music I make. Y'all see everything, like, you know, like I've been so heavily influenced by Travis, but like after tonight, bro, like God really showed me, like, you know, like stay away from that shit, bro. Like that shit not for you, because like he sacrificed so many people's lives tonight, like for real. Like so many people's lives are gone tonight because they wanted to go to a fucking Travis Scott concert and have fun. You know, he influenced people to be raging and all this shit. So many people broke in and it was just chaos, bro. It was a living fucking hell, bro. Imagine seeing all those dead bodies, and that was just by me.
So let's talk about the Travis Scott concert and what took place. This might take a couple minutes because everything that happened in Astroworld is a whole lot to process. Let's start with the fact that 8 people died and hundreds were injured at Astroworld Festival. Because of these tragic events that was taking place, you would think the security guards, the staff members, or even Travis Scott would cancel the show. Not. In fact, Travis Scott knew what was happening. Don't believe me? Take a look for yourself.
Somebody passed out right here. Hold on, don't touch him, don't touch him. Everybody just back up.
Okay, cool. So he knew about it. But it doesn't stop there. Oh no. So when the paramedics arrived, instead of letting them do their job, he continued on with the show. On top of the fact these motherfuckers are jumping on top and inside the paramedics' vehicles. Like, what the? People are dying, people are passing out. What the fuck are you doing? But it gets worse, like, oh my god. And this was up close to the stage, by the way. I know a lot of people like to make excuses that he can't hear anything because of the thousands of people in the crowd chanting and shit, but I'm pretty sure he isn't blind. Like, what's up with the security guards and staff? I thought their job was to make sure the show runs smoothly. While Travis Scott was carrying on with the show, this was happening during it. Thank goodness some fans realized what was happening, so they started chanting him to stop the show.
Stop the show! Stop the show! Stop the...
So not only fans was trying to reach out to him in the back, but they tried to reach out to him on stage as well.
That's okay with you real quick. Take me, let's do it.
What's the excuse this time? You telling me you couldn't hear all that screaming on your stage? With no music, by the way. Thankfully, there were some people that still has a sense of humanity left. Especially this individual here.
In there, bro! Shut the fuck up! Exactly right. Don't in there! People are fucking dying up here. Save somebody's life! That's somebody's kid!
Two hands to the sky.
Let's save him!
Two hands to the sky.
Someone find this man and give him his roses, please, because he deserves it, including the other girl too. Fortunately, it was too late and it got even worse.
And to make matters worse, there was rumors of people storming the venue. And now with this kind of footage coming out, it sounds like absolutely not. I mean, it appears that hundreds upon hundreds of kids.
They were getting trampled, led to hundreds of them being injured. Then he comes out with this shitty ass apology. Travis Scott, it seems like you care about your money and your show rather than the safety of your own fans. Most of this could have been prevented if you stopped the fucking show. Unfucking believable. I'm done.
You guys, we have some tragic news out of Houston, Texas at an Astro World concert. Now, it's being said that around 9:38 p.m. once Travis Scott began to perform, that's when the crowd started to surge forward. Now, this is a crowd of about 50,000 people. As the crowd started to surge forward, people started to get trampled over, and it's being confirmed that 11 people are dead. Some people have been posting on their IG stories basically saying that they've seen over 100 dead bodies. And there are other graphic pictures of the paramedics trying to actually bring people back to life on these IG stories. So this is a very, very serious situation, and it's extremely tragic to the people that lost their lives.
Astro World Festival. Police say that at least 8 people were killed at the packed concert at Energy Park and hundreds of others injured. And HPD has set up a command post for information on any missing persons at the Wyndham Hotel near Kirby and 610. We have team coverage on this story this morning. Let's begin with our newest reporter, Rilwan Balagan, who at the Wyndham Hotel at 8686 Kirby Drive. That's here on Kirby and the South Loop. Houston police officers, firefighters, and personnel with the medical examiner's office are here to help families. We talked to a concert goer here who witnessed the chaos.
When we were walking out, because I actually met up with him, we're sitting here saying, oh, I had the time of my life. But it's scary to think that was the last time some of these people ever even had a life.
Oh my goodness, you just get chills hearing stories like that. We're hearing from others out here this morning as well, talking about the mayhem that happened at that concert.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
We ended up hearing like stop the show from a group of people. I couldn't tell why they wanted to stop the show, but then that's when I saw a big circle open and I couldn't see who was on the floor, but they said he's not breathing, someone knows CPR, like we need to like, but the show kept going. Like they were really trying to stop it, but they couldn't.
Had a whole section screaming help, help, and nobody was doing nothing. They, like I said, for whatever reason, they didn't want to help. And I don't know if it was because they were streaming live or whatever the case was, but there was passed out bodies just being held up because it was so compact, and like the deaths there, there were deaths right in front of us, and they weren't helping out.
Say within Travis Scott's first song that he performed, they realized they needed to get out, they needed to leave the Astroworld Festival. They say for as many people as wanted to get out of this packed, tight crowd, even more wanted to push their way to the front of the stage and get as close as they possibly could. This evening, they recalled for us the vivid looks of terror on so many faces. The friends tell us they consider themselves survivors.
They ruined Astro Fest or Astro World Fest. The first time it was something like, I mean, you go and you just have nothing but fun time, like fun stories to tell. And I mean, this time you like barely make it out alive.
In the photo, 19-year-old Kaya Reedus and 20-year-old Zachary Scott took prior to Astroworld yesterday. They're smiling. Today, the friends were very subdued, traumatized, as they said.
This time at Astroworld, it was totally different. It was just like a concert from hell.
I was literally praying and I was like, please get me out of here. Like, this is not how I want to go, please.
Ritas and Scott were rescued by strangers. They tried to get help for other people who were passed out, being stepped on, but the show continued. Scott lost a lot of respect for the musician who he was a big fan of prior to last night.
And you know, people are blaming it on, like, they're saying, oh, well, like, these people are all on drugs. Like, I was stone cold sober the whole time and I could not get out of there.
That's not how a concert should be. Like, you shouldn't have to be like, oh, okay, I have to fight like either life or death to get out of this. And you might see a few dead bodies, but that's just a part of the experience.
After that, we got into the pits, the mosh pits, trying to get, you know, deeper in, and it got hectic. It got very hectic, you know. We seen people on the ground, you know, pretty much getting trampled. We tried leaving, but we couldn't leave. People were just pushing and pushing. You know, people were going crazy for Travis Scott. I was too, but you know what I'm saying? I was trying to make sure everyone around me was safe, especially my boy Chris, you know. But after that, it just got worse and worse, man. Worse and worse, pushing deeper. People could not get out, and people couldn't get in, you couldn't get out. So everyone was so compressed that it was sad. It was actually sad. It was sad to see, man. It was bad.
VIP area. It's easy to get sealed in. You think you're going up to the front, you're, hey, and oh, yeah, we're going up, we're getting closer. You are, but you're getting trapped. And once you're in there, you can't, it's almost impossible for you to get each other up. People, they're like bringing each other in on the, you know, just trying to keep each other alive. Ow, 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 ow. It's really hard because I've been following Travis's fans for a really long time. You know, they're good kids. To see something that was so happy, I spoke with so many people that were just so happy there. You know, it just turned really bad.
We do have a report of a security officer. He was reaching over to restrain or grab a citizen, and he felt a prick in his neck. When he was examined, he went unconscious. They administered Narcan.
Got into the stage that Travis Scott was performing about like 6:30. So like 3 hours before he was supposed to perform, because we wanted a good spot. And as time went on, it just kept getting more crowded and more crowded and more crowded. But then he started a countdown about 30 minutes before he performed. He started a timer on the big screen, and all of a sudden, people just compressed up against each other and were pushing forward and backward. And as the timer got closer to coming down to 0, it got worse and worse. And I looked at my boyfriend, Sam, and I told him, I was like, we have to get out of here, because I just felt, you know, I was having constant pressure on my chest, constant pressure on my back. It was from the side, I was being squeezed. I tried to lift up my arms to make more room for myself. It wasn't working. So right when he started performing his first song, I looked at my boyfriend. I said, we have to get out of here. He said, I can't. We can't. We couldn't. And then I just remember looking up and passing out. And then I was in and out for a little while. I didn't see anything, but I could kind of feel what was going on. Someone pulled me over a fence, and I was sat in a chair. And then I passed out again, and when I woke up, I was in a different area in a chair with a water bottle in my lap. I was very anxious. I could feel, you know, myself losing the ability to breathe. It was really hard with the amount of people around me. I remember feeling, right before I passed out, I tried to turn my head to tell my boyfriend. I couldn't turn my head, but I tried to tell him I really was gonna have him tell my son that I loved him, because I honestly did not think I was going to make it out of there. I'm not trying to be dramatic. I straight up thought I was going to die.
We started getting pushed to the front. So then when we got pushed to the front, that's when, you know, we're all having a good time. Like, we're just there having a good time. And then that's when on the back right side of us, we ended up hearing like, stop the show from a group of people. I couldn't tell why they wanted to stop the show. But then that's when I saw a big circle open, and I couldn't see who was on the floor, but they said, he's not breathing, someone knows CPR, like, we need to, like, but the show kept going. Like, they were really trying to stop it, but they couldn't.
You realized something was wrong.
Honestly, I started realizing it when when SZA's concert was over with, everybody started heading towards our stage. And as soon as the music started jumping, that's when everybody just started pushing in. and everybody was just so squeezing into us, we couldn't even move. We were like this the whole time. You literally, when you would move, you couldn't move, like I mentioned, and you just really felt like a frozen. You were just frozen. You just stood there.
And Joe, what did you see? You know, what did you do? What did you see happening around you? And where exactly were y'all in the crowd as compared to the stage?
As far as the stage, we're at the very front. Not the very front, but we held the rail. And like you said, as soon as the concert started, the concert goers, they just pushed. And from what we seen, we actually experienced, we couldn't breathe. And we had security at the rail, and for whatever reason, they were not helping us at all. They were uncooperative. They didn't want to pull nobody out.
Did you say something to security? Did you say, I'm being squeezed, people are pushing, what's going on, I need help? Did you say something to security at that point, Joe?
I had a whole section screaming help, help, and nobody was doing nothing. They, like I said, for whatever reason, they didn't want to help. And I don't know if it was because they were streaming live or whatever the case was, but there was passed out bodies just being held up because it was so compact, and like the deaths there were deaths right in front of us, and they weren't helping at all.
I'm sorry, did you say what was in front of you?
Like dead bodies in front of us.
Timothy, I mean, that is just so horrible. Timothy, did Travis Scott stop performing as soon as people started running and crushing the stage?
Yes, he did stop at a point. He made sure the crowd was okay and everything. But then after that, he just started going back at it. And then more unconscious bodies happened, and we were just trying to fight for our way out. That was honestly it. It was tragic. It was unexpected. It was scary, a frightening experience.
Everybody's opening up mosh pits. We're having a good time, but there's a lot of people that are very selfish. There's people that I saw a pit that was being held together by people, but because in the pit was people that fell. So they were standing together to help the people get up. And I witnessed somebody unconscious struggling to get out. Like their friends were trying to get him out, and just people weren't caring enough to like make a path. So as I'm a 400-pound guy, so I jump in because that's just my instinct, and I just make a path for him. And on my way back to the middle, I meet a girl that's hyperventilating. So instead, like, I couldn't tell her, hey, calm down. I immediately just grab her, and I'm rushing back. And, closer to the VIP section, that's when EMS was doing what they were doing with those individuals.
It's a struggle because it's not you and a clear path. It's you and then the person next to you wanting to have fun.
Yeah.
The person across from wanting to fight
It's
some
a lot of
random
selfishness.
person. And it's everybody for themselves, where if I see that you're saying, oh, I want to leave, I'm having a panic attack.
Yeah.
I'm saying, back up.
People wait
Let
for
them
you to
out.
have this look of concern to do something. Right. When you should just take their word seriously. Like, not for nothing, like it is a fun event, but there's just people that careless people that just come and ruin it.
It's like Well, in the front, there was definitely a lot of jumping. If you didn't jump, you were gonna fall, and you would get trampled on, definitely.
So the crowd's pushing.
Yeah, the
towards
crowd's
you guys?
pushing back and forth. Like you needed to. If you were even a little bit tired, you were gonna fall. It was just too insane.
And so you tried to get your buddy.
Yeah, so my buddy was there, and he was already passing out. I saw him. I noticed him on someone's back, and then right away he said that he wanted to go, and I just helped him out right away.
Was he passing out from people crushing him
He-
forward?
He just looked very tired. I think it was from people because there was too much pressure. You barely had like
Because
breathing space.
At these festivals, when you're up there, they have hydration stations.
Yeah.
Where you fill up your Camelback. But when you're up there for hours and you run out of water, that walk back is
Be strong in the Lord, and in the power of his might. Put on the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Wherefore take unto you the whole armor of God,